Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series, the deluxe release of Doc Ock from Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, I say No Way Home, but the package clearly says Spider-Man 2. I think that was purely from a legality standpoint for the likeness of Alfred Molina. To be able to do merchandise with his likeness. So that's why it's labeled as Spider-Man 2, I assume, much like the Amazing Spider-Man Andrew Garfield figure that had the branding of Amazing Spider-Man 2, the TASM 2, to be able to have the Andrew Garfield unmasked head sculpt. I think there's some likeness things going on, a lot of things that we don't know about, we don't understand. We all want these unmasked head sculpts for everything, but it may or may not be the case with the actor signing off or however that works. But I think that's what we have going on here. I will do a comparison with the, this was the Hasbro Marvel Legends release. Toy Biz obviously was the first to create these Spider-Man figures. So we have this Doc Ock. You can see the difference. He did not have a shirt on in Spider-Man 2. This one clearly does. That's how we know it is a No Way Home, truly a No Way Home figure. But I'm excited for it. I got mine from ToySnowman.com. Link in the video description below to check them out. They are based in Canada, but it has your one-stop shop for all your action figure collecting needs. Whether it's the Hasbro stuff, you know, the Figure Arts, Mayfix Imports, NECA, McFarlane Toys, all that stuff you can get from ToySnowman.com. As of right now, the Doc Ock is sold out, but make sure to get your pre-orders in with ToySnowman.com because chances are they may get some of the stuff a little bit earlier than other places. So check them out, ToySnowman.com. Link in the video description below. If you use that link, you will get a 5% off coupon code in your Frost Rewards for first-time buyers that create an account. Looking at the box, we see the figure on the side there. We get the artwork of Doc Ock there on the side. And then here on the back of the package, you can see what he comes with. He's obviously got the tentacles. He's got an additional set of hands. I've already taken it out of the package so you can see kind of how it is. It comes in here exactly like this with the tentacles all like kind of folded in like that. We get a couple of different headpieces which are really cool. We get these big ass ones here, and these are what's going to allow the figure to be able to stand using the tentacles. So you got these bigger ones here, and then we have two of these ones where it's just kind of opened up those claws with a little bit of red paint there in the center, and then we have these two which are kind of not closed but closed, a little more closed than the other slightly. And I think what we're going to be able to do with this is probably grab onto figures and things like that, so it doesn't, you know, it doesn't have a good firm grip, but you can grip around two things, or you could just kind of have him there and like has that open look if he's going on the attack or something like that. So here's the figure. Let's go ahead and get in for a closer look. Okay, so here's an up-close look at Doc Ock, and man, this figure is also cool and great and sucks at the same time. It's just kind of weird. Like, I'm having the hardest time just getting him to stand up because of the design of the tentacles, right? They come out of his back like so. And as far as I can tell, they are not removable. Like, I tried kind of yanking on that a little bit, and they're not coming out. I don't want to push it too much. The bendy wire on these are pretty good. The thing about it is, though, they're really, really stiff. Like, really, really stiff. Like, it's just, you have to, like, apply a lot of pressure to be able to get it to move, but you can get it to move, which is cool. Now, I also mentioned that these claws, that they were all just kind of open like this, because in the package that's how they are. I thought they just stayed like that. They are articulated, so they can close, which is amazing. So silly me for not knowing that. Silly me. I didn't even notice when I was moving this around that they kept getting messed up until I knocked one of these off, because you can kind of just pull these off. Like, I don't really recommend it, but as you can see, they just clamp on, so that's, you know, easy enough. So you can have them kind of open, a lot open, or close, however you want to do it. So two of them. Oh, why is that one loose now? Oh, see, I shouldn't have done it, man. Ah, like I knocked one off and it was an accident. Now the friction's completely gone. Oh, wait, hold on. Nah, damn it. I shouldn't have pulled it off. So don't do what I did, because it doesn't stay as much. I could probably heat it up or something, and maybe the friction will work out a little bit better. I probably just warped it a little too much. I can clamp it down a little bit and stick it on there. Oh, look at that. Friction back, baby. We're good to go. Yeah, I don't recommend doing what I did. And then these ones are, in fact, open. They are not they cannot articulate. As you can see, you just port them in, super easy, swap them around all you want and everything like that. So we'll take a look at those, I guess, a little bit more when we kind of zoom out. But I want to talk about the Alfred Molina head sculpt. It looks pretty good. I wouldn't say it's perfect or anything. They didn't get a lot of the wrinkles. You know, he's much older in this movie. The hair looks a little funny, in my opinion. I think they made his forehead a little too big. But it's cool. The glasses are not removable. You can't put them in there. But you can see his eyes through the glasses, which is really cool. So as long as you have some bright enough light, you can actually see the eyes right in there. I tried to kind of lift them up a little bit to see Alfred Molina's face, but it's not, you can't really do it too well. It would have been pretty cool. He's got the ever so slight little 5 o'clock shadow facial hair in there, which doesn't look too bad, but I like the way it looks. Came out pretty cool. He's got a ball joint at the waist. There's no diaphragm because the diaphragm would not have worked, you know, obviously, or an ab crunch probably would not have worked either because of, you know, those port into his back. So we kind of look open in there. He's just got these like dark green pants in there. He's got a 2-layer jacket. So you got one jacket that's a full-on coat, and then this one in here is just kind of like this shell-looking thing to kind of show the layeredness of his coat in there, and it's just kind of there. But you know, it looks pretty good. It's got this nice gold paint for the zipper in there. The buttons on the outer coat are kind of get a little bit of black paint. Other than that, there's not really a whole lot going on to the figure. So let's go ahead and zoom out and just get right into the articulation. I'm going to be zoomed out a bit far for this because I want to be able to show everything. So the bendy wire articulation, they don't swivel or anything coming out of his back. You just have to, again, apply as much pressure as you can to move them. And they move and they hold their position really well, which is nice because it's always nice when you can bend it and it's like, oh, look at that, it holds. The whole point of me bending it, and it actually worked and stayed. A lot of bendy wire usually doesn't hold in place. But again, they're really freaking stiff. But one big benefit to that is when we put these ones on, and I'll show that after the articulation, is when we put these big ones on to the bottom ones, because this bendy wire is so stiff, it'll actually be more stable and hold the weight of the figure up, which is really cool. Oh, look at that. See? I have this one. This one keeps falling off. This is the first one that I knocked off. I didn't even realize. I get it on there, and it holds well, but I keep knocking it off. I don't know what's going on. I got to be careful there. But anyway, let's get to the articulation. Again, the bendy wire can move around every way you want. These claws are articulated, so you can open them up. You can close them. The head sculpt is on a dumbbell joint, so you get some good pivot going on in there. You can do a full rotation. Looking up is that much. Looking down is that much there. The shoulder, you can get the shoulder to go straight on out like so. You can get a full rotation in there. You got an upper bicep swivel, single jointed elbow, but you do get more than 90-degree bend, so that is pretty good there. You also get a swivel at the elbow, wrist swivel, and they do hinge, standard horizontal hinge on the fists. He also does come with open grip hands here as well, so that is pretty good. We have a ball joint at the waist, so Doc Ock, and this is tricky because he's got the coat and everything in there. He can tilt to his left only that much. So while there's a ball joint, it's not the biggest range of motion. And then the thing that's going to suck is the coat is really going to hinder it anyway. So he can tilt to his right that much. He can lean back. He can lean back somewhat, but the coat just gets in the way. It just hinders it quite a bit. And then coming forward, without using the legs, coming forward is a little bit too, but again, it's hard to do everything because the coat and then the tentacles are in the way and everything like that. And then you get a swivel at that ball joint there. This silver piece is kind of a floating piece. It's just kind of there. It doesn't do a whole lot. Legs go out. Had to get everything out of the way. Legs go out that far apart, which is really good. The coat, you have to bring him out in front of the coat, which can get a little bit tricky. He can kick forward that much there. The leg goes back somewhat, but the coat is just going to get in the way. Upper thigh cut in there. You have a solid double jointed knee. I thought maybe these were the Hawkeye legs. They are, in fact, different legs because I was thinking this is going to be like the Last Stand ball joint type of situation. It's not. There, finally got the bend at the knee. There's no calf swivel or boot swivel or ankle swivel or anything. Foot hinges down. The problem is you absolutely cannot hinge this foot up, or I could not have gotten it because the design of this ankle came out a little too much in my opinion. so you can't hinge up, which would be really necessary in getting him to balance, because I'm having the hardest time getting him to balance. But you do have ankle pivot and peg-holes at the bottom of the feet there. In my opinion, the legs seem a little thin, a little bit small for the figure, and you know, I just can't get him to stand. He's just so back heavy. Oh, look at that. I did it. That's the first time. Literally the first time I got him to stand. I even had all tentacles going out straight forward to try and get the counterbalance, and I couldn't get it to work, but now I got it. Pretty cool. I know I'm voicing a lot of frustrations with this thing also, but I do really like the figure. It's just, man, like, if you're going to do figure photography with it, I think it's going to be frustrating as hell trying to get this thing into certain poses and then getting the tentacles into the certain ways that you want them, because again, they're very stiff, so you got to move each one and then try and do it and stuff. But I'm sure some people will be able to do it. But the next part, I'm going to put these big ass claw ones on the bottom ones, and I'm going to get the figure to stand on those, which I think is a really awesome feature that he's, you know, capable of doing. So let's check that out. Just to show you guys a little bit of the process, this sumbitch is difficult to balance. I know it can be done, but he just wants to fall back. So it's going to take me some time, but you got to just find the right balance to get him to stay, because it's just, man, it's really tough, because it's just so back heavy. He just wants to constantly fall back. So I figured, you know, if I move the arm, these in front, and maybe I need to go out a little bit more in front to counterbalance. Or do I need to go back and do it? No, that's not good. I just have to mess around with it some more. Just know that this is taking me forever, guys. You know, I had it for a second there, and it tumbled over. Let's see. I mean, I'll be able to get him up for a quick second. You just really have to spend the time to position the legs in certain ways where it's going to hold. And here, it's not fully balanced, as he's going to fall forward. So it's a lot of work. But when you get it into something, you're going to feel proud of yourself for taking forever to get it done and being able to do it. And it's going to be a whole lot of fun. It's just working with the bendy wire and getting it to hold in place. Like, it can be done, but again, you just have to really position it. It's all about balancing. You got to have patience with yourself when doing it. But when you get it, it's a lot of fun. And it's really cool that we could do this. The thing, though, like, I wish the tentacles could come off. Like, because there's times where Doc Ock will be there and his tentacles just aren't, I mean, I guess they're out, but you know, when interacting with people, you know, the tentacles would be whether it's wrapped up around him and stuff. But like, just standing there talking or something, you can't really do that. So I'm going to try and do a size comparison the best that I can, but I think those tentacles are going to kind of get in the way. But as you can see here, this one's holding pretty well. So it can be a lot of fun, and it's cool that you can do this, but again, it is challenging and difficult. Okay, so here's the full side-by-side comparison with the Toy Biz / Hasbro version of the Doc Ock. At the time, again, good. The paint apps on the tentacles are really, really nice. The claws are fully articulated, which was really good. Had a lot of good things going for it, but they weren't bendy wire. So they were soft rubbery, they can move around, but they won't stay in position at all. It had large claws down here at the bottom, which were cool, but it couldn't stand on them or anything like that. Not only that, it's a 20-year-old figure, essentially, and it's just that this new one now is better in terms of overall aesthetic. This was really good at the time. This one is really good for this time. So it's hard to compare and say, obviously, it's better, because that should be the case, as it's something newer. But there's definitely some magic with this original still, you know, and, you know, having figures for that movie back then and things like that. So it's still cool to have, but this new one is definitely really nice. Again, the difficulties and challenges and frustrations aside, it's just really nice to have a Doc Ock figure. Spider-Man 2 is arguably one of the best Spider-Man movies. For a lot of folks, it still is. I think I've kind of shied away from that and will probably lean a little bit more towards No Way Home, but No Way Home has a lot of biases built into it. It's MCU, so it's biased for me. Then it has all the Spider-Mans in there. It has the villains in there, so it has a lot going for itself. I know there's some plot holes and things in the movie, sure, but you know, it to me it was special. I really enjoyed it, really liked it. For me, it's my favorite. But Spider-Man 2 is such an iconic movie, so good. It's cool to see Doc Ock. And then if you really want, you could make that one like a Spider-Man 2 display if you really want. I mean, the biggest difference is really just because he's got a shirt versus not having a shirt. That's really it. So, you know, you guys let me know, how are you going to do? You going to keep it as a Spider-Man 2? Or are you just going to stick with No Way Home, specifically MCU? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, so the three villains for No Way Home that we have gotten now are Sandman, Green Goblin, and Doc Ock. We are still missing Electro and Lizard. They were teased to finish out all the villains for No Way Home before. Whether that actually happens or not, we don't actually know. I would think that they would, but as of this time, we do not know. We do not have an answer to that, and I am really hopeful that we do, because that would be amazing if we can get all the No Way Home villains. Just 2 more. We can get a Lizard, another deluxe release, or make it a Build-A-Figure. Hopefully not a Build-A-Figure. Yeah, Build-A-Figure would probably be okay, as long as they do it right. The previous one that we got sucked. And then Electro, that could be obviously a regular release. I don't think it needs to be a deluxe release in any way. I would hope that it would not be, unless there's crazy amount of like electricity effects or something. But time will tell. We'll see if they will. Hopefully we get them. And of course, this will make for a lot of fun. We got our Tobey Maguire Spider-Man to go along with this Doc Ock, and it's the look and everything that we want. So it could work if you really wanted this Doc Ock to be your Spider-Man 2 Doc Ock. Yeah, so there we have it. Like dream come true from 20 years ago. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to kind of do a run-through of some side-by-side comparisons so you guys can have them. Here we have the integrated suit Spider-Man. Obviously, this one makes sense as the integrated suit became because, you know, Doc Ock took the nanotech, the Stark technology nanotech from the Iron Spider suit and then added it onto his upgraded suit, which then gave him the integrated suit. And so for the comparison, we have the Iron Spider, so you can see how it looks. And then I will go a step further because I didn't have the masked head sculpt on this one. Here is the Iron Spider with the Waldos, or the spider arms, legs, whatever you want to call it. And then you can have some competition, as Doc Ock called it there, which is cool. And then I don't know if there was really any interactions here between these, but we can also throw in Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. And I guess technically MJ too, a bit. And I don't have the Doctor Strange out to be able to do that, but these are all the figures that I had readily available in hand. Oh, you know what? Look at that. I do have a Doctor Strange readily available that I did not realize that I had out right here next to me in this big-ass pile of figures that I have, because I don't ever put things away like I should. So there we go. There for all those side-by-side comparisons. That was fun. Okay, so that is my review of the Doc Ock figure. Tons of fun. A bit frustrating, but once you get him set up the way you want him to be, it comes out amazing, and you just have all kinds of fun with it. I love what they did here. I love that we can get him to stand up on there. I love that 2 of these can open up. It would have been nice if all 4 could, but we have, you know, the 2 at least, so it is a lot of fun. The bendy wire works out well, just very stiff. Spider-Man 2 figures would be amazing if we got more Spider-Man 2 figures. I would love to see that if Hasbro ever gets around to just doing like older movies and stuff like that, which they've done like with X-Men, but it had to be an anniversary, and we missed the anniversary of the first Spider-Man movie. We'll see if they do it again for one of the others. Who knows? But we'll see. You know, just waiting now for No Way Home Lizard, No Way Home Electro. Hopefully we get those. But you guys let me know down in the comments below. What do you think of this Doc Ock figure? Is it one that you're picking up? Is it one that you're passing on? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit that join button and become a channel member and be a part of the MCU Collective. And as always, thank you for watching.